One of the things that analysts need to be able to do in Service Manager is quickly fill out forms. In fact, if you watch an analyst using a Service Desk product, they rarely take their hands off the keyboard to use the mouse. That's because using the keyboard is usually faster for entering data. So in this demonstration, I'm going to show you how you can quickly fill out the incident form, and in particular, how you can use a couple of our custom controls that make it easy and fast to select a user and also to select an item from a list. So this is the incident form here, and first I'll start off by showing you the user picker control. The user picker control is actually a collection of controls here. First, it's the Office Communicator presence icon, a text box where you can enter the user's name, the check names button, and a browse button. And this collection of controls is used anywhere where you're selecting a related user. So you can see that here on the incident form in 3 places: the affected user, the assigned to user, and the primary owner. The second control that I'll show you later is the list picker control, and we use this anywhere where you need to choose a list item. And it looks like a normal drop-down control, but it actually has some special behaviors to it that make it easier to select items from a hierarchical list. So let's start out here by using the user picker control. So the user picker control, the easiest way to use it is just to start typing the person's name. So, and as I type the name, I can then use the mouse to select an item from the list, or I can continue typing to filter down the list. And once I see the person's name that I want, rather than finishing typing out the whole name, I can just hit the down arrow key and go to the person's name that I want to select and hit the enter key. Once the user is selected, you can see that their name is underlined. That tells the user that we've actually selected a user in this case, and when this incident is submitted, we'll actually create a relationship between this incident and that affected user. Now you can clear the contents of a user picker control by selecting all of the text and hitting either the backspace key or the delete key. So now I'll show you how you can also do the same thing, but let's say that you aren't sure how to spell the user's name or all of the user's name. So you can just type a couple of letters of the name, and then you can hit the tab key to move over to the check names button and hit the enter key, and that will bring up a list of all the users that have the phrase that you entered there, in this case CH, in either their first name or last name, and you can then scroll through the list of those users here, and you can see some additional information about them over here to help you make sure that you're picking the right user. And if you want to, you can also bring up the properties of that user by clicking the properties dialog. Now, another way that you can do this is by just starting out in this control, and if you're not sure who it is, you can hit over here to the browse button and hit enter. Just use the tab key to go over there. And now once you're inside of this dialog, you can also search by the person's name. You can type Charlie and hit the search icon. So you just hit tab and then hit enter, and that'll filter down the list to just those people that you want to look at there. And you just hit the tab key till you get into the list. You hit the space bar to select the user, and then hit the enter key to select that user. Okay, once you've selected the user, then you can just tab on to the next control, type in whatever you need to. Just like filling out any sort of form, you just use tab to move from one control to the next. Now, the classification category here is a list control, and this gets a little bit interesting. So for a list control, we could use the drop down here and just use our mouse to select an item from anywhere in the hierarchical list. We can expand and collapse levels in the list and so on. Another way that we can do this is we can come into here and we can hit the down arrow key and then down arrow through the list to select a particular item. And then once we find the item we want, we hit the enter key, and then we'll resolve that item, and then we can tab on to the next control. Okay, now you can also use text filtering. So if I just type the letter E, it'll filter down to just those that start with E, and then I can use the down arrow key to select an item. And then what I recommend is that if you have a multi-value list in a hierarchy, then what you can do is you can, at this point where you've selected this item, hit the right arrow key, and that will move you to the end of that particular item in that level in the hierarchy. And then if you hit the backslash key, that'll bring up the next level in the hierarchy, and then you can continue to type here and filter that down, or you can use the down arrow key to select the next level in the hierarchy, and so on. So you can actually do a multi-level hierarchy this way by just using the right arrow key to move to the end of the control, and then hit the backslash key to bring up the next level in the hierarchy. Now, another thing you can do is if the value that you're going to enter is relatively short, like impact low, instead of selecting it from a list or doing a drop down or whatever, you can just type the word LOW and it will resolve to that particular value, and then you can hit the tab key to move on. So that can make it very quick to fill out a form as well. Alright, so hopefully that gives you an idea of how you can use these custom controls and the keyboard to quickly fill out a form, and hopefully that'll help you get your job done faster. So thanks for watching.